and all to Amud Yomi be'Ian, given by Reb Chaim Kornbluth. We are learning today the bracha bas Ravi. We're more than happy to see your questions, to hear questions. You can type in questions over here. We'll see them live and try and address anything that's slightly serious. The better the questions, the better the response. We are learning on, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll be doing Samach Aleph, Amud Aleph. We are 8 lines from the bottom. Brachas, we'll be wrapping up brachas very soon. So any ideas what we should learn next month, let me know. Says the gemorah. So Samach Aleph, Amud Aleph, 8 lines from the bottom. Amar V'yechanan. Says Reb Yechanan, Achayri Ariva, Achayri Isha. You should walk behind a lion, but don't walk behind a woman. Meaning, one, it's also to walk behind a woman. Danger is worse than doing a virus. It's worse. It's more strict. Being lackadaisical with your safety than with a virus, right? But here, the Rishonim explain that the sakana of going behind this woman is worse than going behind the lion. It's a worse sakana. It's better to walk behind the woman though than to go behind avodah zarah. L'chayra, what that means is the danger that a person is going to end up following avodah zarah is even worse than he's going to follow the woman. Or pshat is that what's going to end up happening if he follows avodah zarah is worse than if he follows a woman. Because avodah zarah is worse than arayos, right? So it's going in order of how bad the thing is. The lion eats him up, not that bad, right? That's not as bad as being over one of the worst of areas, walking by, falling, having an affair with this married woman. That's even worse. And what's even worse than arayos is for him to go ahead and serve idolatry. That's even worse. That's even worse than being with a woman. Why? They're all giving chaveres chumras. It's even worse. Maybe because he's going to do it 1,000 times as opposed to once or twice. I don't know. The Mepharshim say they're doing on a very many times. Multiplies how bad it is, right? This is the big one. It's better to walk behind an avodah zarah. You might follow the avodah zarah, not to walk behind the shul when they're praying. And we're going to see, it's talking about where it looks like you're just not interested in praying. You're like, it's not for me. I'm too, I don't believe in all this stuff, right? That's worse than walking behind idolatry. Why? Because the Pashtas, well, there's 2 reasons why. One of them is the other virus or Shas. We're worried. Something could happen, right? Something could happen. You could end up by accident. Not by accident. You could end up doing an affair with this woman. You could sin with this woman. You could sin with idolatry. It might happen. It might not happen. The lion might attack you. It might not attack you. But when you walk behind the prayer house and you don't walk in, so that's for sure. That's you sinned. Why? Anyone that sees you is going to think for sure this guy's not interested. That creates a zilzul. That creates people not taking it seriously. This guy doesn't go to synagogue. I don't have to go. So it's real. It's not like a maybe it's going to happen. It has an impact. That's for sure. That's one option. The other option is that we're talking about here when you don't go to shul, you don't go to synagogue, you don't pray. It looks like you're not praying. So that is your apikaris. It means what it looks like is that you are a non-believer. You don't believe in God. You don't believe that He can save you, can help you. And that's worse than serving idolatry. In other words, if you serve idolatry, you could be a good person. You believe in everything, you keep everything. Okay, you wanted to get a new car, so you bow down to this idol. You kiss the chachka, whatever it is, to hope that maybe now He's going to help you, right? God forbid, right? But if someone's an apikaris, someone doesn't believe in his whole life, he never did one mitzvah. You never did one good deed, right? So it's better to go behind idolatry than to entertain the thought that you, or to encourage yourself in this opinion that God can't assist you, God can't help you. That's the worst. Says the gemorah. When is it forbidden? When is it terrible to walk behind the shul? We're talking about where you're not carrying bags. If you're carrying bags, right? The people see you, they're like, you know why he's not going to pray? Because he's carrying his luggage. He's carrying these boxes. He can't walk in there now. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just walking empty-handed, you walk past, why aren't you going into the synagogue? Why aren't you going to pray? What's going on over here? Something's going on with you, right? It doesn't look good. When is it forbidden? When is it a problem? That's if you walk past and there's no other door. If there's another door on the other side, people think he's not going in here, he's going in there. In other words, it's only a problem when people know, this guy, he's not going in. But if it's in their head, they think you're not going in, but really there's another door, that's their problem, right? There's another door, I'm going on the other side. But if there's another door, there's no issue. We're only talking about where you're not riding on a donkey. If you're driving on a donkey, then there's no issue. If you're riding on a donkey, then people understand you're not going in, not because you're lazy, not because you don't believe in it. You're riding on a donkey. You've got to take care of the donkey. You can't tie it up. It's going to run away. There's nowhere to put it. It's complicated. And this is all only true if you're not wearing tefillin. But if a guy is wearing tefillin, there's no issue with it. It's fine. Why? Because we see that the guy is a frum guy. He's wearing tefillin. He's not pirikal. He's not ignoring Torah mitzvahs, right? He's not following false religions. He's not following stupid religions. He's following the one true God. He's wearing tefillin. He's wearing like the Torah commands him. So we're not worried. We're not going to think like, the guy's not praying. Okay, he's not praying. He's wearing tefillin. He's following the commandments. What does it say in tefillin? Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. There's only one God. There's no 3, there's no 10, there's no 100, right? And this guy walks past shul with his tefillin on. It's all understandable. We see that he's a frum guy. We see he's keeping. Amarav, Yetzirah, Daimilizvov. Now we're taking it a slight detour. Says Rav, the Yetzirah is like a fly. V'yeshiv shnei miftechei alev. And it sits on the two openings of your heart. There's two holes in your heart. And it sits on both of them. This fly, Shnem Zvuv Moves Yavish Abia Shemen Rekeach. Shmuel Amakim Chita. Shmuel says, no, it's not like a fly, it's like a grain of wheat. Shnem Alepesachatos Rovets. I didn't really understand what the machlekes is between those two, what's going on over here, I'll be honest with you. I didn't see anyone shed a light. I didn't have time to think about it too much. What's the difference between a fly and a grain of wheat? Maybe the fly is moving backwards and forwards, the grain of wheat stays there, it stays in one place. I don't know. Torah Bonan, Shtei Klayais. A person has two Klayais. Yeshve Ba'adam. Echad Yoitzel Teva, V'achaz Yoitzel Ra. One advises him good and one advises him badly. What's Klayais? Klayais is not your kidney, your spleen, I don't know what. So, Umstavra, the the good one is your right side, and the bad one is your left side. The heart of the wise man is on his right, and the heart of the fool is his left. The right always represents giving, kindness. The left always represents taking. Tanrabanan. So, Klayas Yurtzais, your Klayas gives you advice. Your Leiv Mavin, your heart understands. Loshay Mechatek, your tongue says it. Peh Goimer, and your mouth finishes the speech. Vest your, what's it called, your windpipe, machlis moitzi, coming to your food pipe, takes in and out food. Kana moitzi kol, your air pipe takes out the sound. It's interesting what the gemorah is saying over here. Reya she'eves kol mini mashkin, your lungs absorbs all sorts of fluids. Kaved kayes, your liver gets angry. Anger comes from your liver. Mara, your gall, zerekes beitipa or manichasai. Your gallbladder excretes some type of fluid, and that calms down the anger in your liver. Tchul is spleen. Tchul is seichik. Your laughter comes from your spleen. Kurkuvan, your belly button, or kurkuvan, whatever means teichen. Your stomach chews up the food. Keba, the intestines, yeshena, that helps you sleep. Af ne'ar, your nose wakes you up in the morning. So the Gemara says, ne'ar, yashan, yashan, and ne'ar. He wakes up, the guy sleeping, and puts to sleep the guy that's awake. So you see that the nose has a power to wake you up and to put you to sleep. So, af ne'ar, yashan, yashan, and ne'ar, nimik v'hoylechai. If it wakes him up, he gets weaker and weaker and weaker. If yashan and ne'ar, nimik v'hoylechai. If it puts him to sleep, it makes him weaker. Tana, im shneim yishenim, yishenim na'irim miyad meis. If your tongue, if your nose and your stomach both put you to sleep, miyad meis. It's not a good sign. Okay, I don't know what this gemorah is talking about, I'll be honest with you, but list what different body parts, what they do. I don't know. Tanya basically We're back to that. I got into part where basically says, sorry, I missed the line. Basically, tzadikim yetzara tayv shreiftan. The righteous, the good guys, the yetzar tayv judges them. What does that mean? Is if they do things based on the good inclination, that's the judgment system. Is yetzar tayv. It's a good one. It's a good inclination, right? Shenema v'libi chol b'kirbi. My heart is hollow inside. V'libi chol b'kirbi. David said this. David was saying, my heart is hollow, meaning I've got no yetzar hara. David said, it's all good inclination. There's no evil inclination here. So therefore, what does he do? He's following his good inclination. His yetzar tayv sheiftan. His good inclination is what leads him. But Rishayim yetzirah sheiftan. The evil, the sinners out there. You know who you are. Maybe me. But the sinners, we're going to see in a minute. You have to know who you are. Rishayim yetzirah sheiftan. The sinners, their evil inclination, that judges them, that motivates them. Shenemar. Num peshel rasha bekev libi ein pachad alekim l'neged einai. And beinim zeh v'zeh shaitan. If you're a beini, you're not a tzaddik, you're not a rasha, and most people are beinim. Most people are in the middle. If you're in the middle, so they both guide you. So in other words, when you see a guy who's a rasha, right? And there's an important principle of it. You see someone that's a rasha, you know he's evil, he's a terrorist, he's a whatever it is. He's just pure evil, and you see he's doing something good. It looks like he's running a hospital. He's doing something nice. Don't think for a second that this is coming from the good inclination. There's nothing, it's not coming from a place of good, of positivity. It's always 100% coming from evil. He wants to harm people. He wants to do bad to God and to man, whatever it is. He's evil. Everything he does is evil. And when you see someone good, you see a tzaddik doing something that looks bad. Right? You see him, I don't know what, pushing in line. You see him, whatever it is, you see the guy doing, right? He's a tzaddik. Don't think for a second it's coming from his evil inclination. It's coming from his good inclination. He's trying to do good. It came out bad. He misjudged, whatever it is. He didn't read the room. But it's coming from, he's trying to help. So that's the difference. The tzaddikim, they're always trying to do good. The Rishonim, they're always trying to do bad. And the Beinim, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. So much so, thank you very much. So much so that I saw many years ago, Sefer writes, if you don't know what to do, right, you're stuck in life, you've got a challenge. What should I do? So what do you do? Ask the tzaddik. Whatever he says, do, right? But you can't find the tzaddik. There's no one out there. You can't find the righteous guy. You're I don't know where. You're in New York City. There's no one righteous there. I don't know. I'm kidding. You're in Iran. Wherever you are, you can't find it. So what should you do? So find the Russia, ask him, and then do the opposite. That's what you got to do. Because whatever he tells you is coming from his Yetzirah. It's coming from his evil inclination. Beinanim zev zeshaytu. Shenema yamod liyamin evyain loishia mishayftin nafshay. So if you're Baini, you got both things judging you. So says Rava, okay, Amar Rava, listen to this. Fascinating gemorah. Amar Rava. Kegoinanu Beinanim. We are Bainanim. I'm not a tzaddik. I'm a Bainani. I'm average. I'm Yetzir Tov and Yetzir Shayftan. Sometimes I follow my good inclination, and sometimes I follow the bad inclination. I'm a Bainani. Unbelievable. Unbelievable humility from the God of God to say, I'm average. I'm a Bainani. I do good and bad. So listen to this. Abai didn't like it. Abai was his friend. Abai said, Omalei Abai. Says to him, Abai, Leishavik Machai Elechol Beria. If you're a Bainani, you haven't left any life to anyone out there, then the rest of us are all Rishayim. You're great, you're tzaddik. If you're a Bainani, then we're all done, we're all history, we're all Rishayim, we're all evil. If you're a Bainani, Alama, you're a tzaddik. You're a pure man, you're holy. You're not a Bainani. Leave everyone else to live. Don't go tell people you're a Bainani. They'll think, well, if I'm a Russia, let me go ahead and sin, There's nothing for me to do. I'm a sinner. No, you're a tzaddik, and the others are Bainanim. That's what he's telling him. Unbelievable. Right? So says, so what happened? Omarav. We're gonna get back to this in a minute. We haven't left this little discussion yet. We'll get back. We'll circle back. Sorry. So the pleasures of this world, the good pleasures, there's many, I guess, but the real pleasures were only made for real Rishayim or real Tzaddikim. So, for some reason, right? In other words, like this. Why the pleasures of the world made for real Rishayim? Because the guy's a Rasha, the guy's evil. So, if he's done anything good, he's got to get paid back in this world. Anything good he's done, he gets paid back in this world, and that's why he has Olam Hazeh for. But Tzaddik Gemorim, he's talking about Olam Haba. The Olam Haba, according to Rashi, is made for Tzaddik Gemorim, for the purely righteous, so, not for the Beinanim. L'chayr, you could say that this world, he's talking about this world also. Someone who's a Tzaddik Gomer, like Rebbe, a Tzaddik Gomer, right? He also has this world, because why not? Right? He doesn't have to be punished in this world. He's a tzaddik gomer. Says the gemorah, Amar Rava. Now we're going back to the original. It looks like we're going back to the original machlokes of Abai and Rava, if Rava was a Beinani or not. Amar Rava, Leida inish benafshe. A guy has to know about himself. You have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, ask your wife. She'll tell you who you are. Amar lady of the inish benafshe. Im tzaddik gomer or im lav. You should know if you're a tzaddik gomer or im lav. It's important for you to know this. Why? He doesn't say. Right? But it's important. Lady inish benafshe im tzaddik gomer or im lav. A principle you should know. Are you a tzaddik gomer or not? It's important to know. I did the analysis. I know if I'm a tzaddik gomer or not. Now it's your turn. So says the gemorah. So what's going on over there? Why is Rava saying this? Because l'chayra, what happened? Rava said, I'm a Beinani. Okay? Abai came along and slapped him over the face. Said, you're not a Beinani. If you're a Beinani, then we're all Rishayim. So Rava comes along and says, no. You can't know if I'm a tzaddik gomer or not. No one can know about the other guy if he's 100% pure. Right? And you're right. I'm crazy. I'm amazingly great. I'm Rava. I'm the greatest. Right? But am I a tzaddik gomer? I'm completely righteous? A person has to know about himself if he's completely righteous. You don't know. And therefore, and maybe he's saying, you can't tell me if I'm righteous or not. Only I can know if I'm completely righteous. You've got no business even thinking that you can know if I'm completely righteous or not. Maybe you're saying that, like, you don't know if I'm righteous, maybe I'm not. Okay, Amar Rav, says Rav, La'ivri alma el al'achav ben Imri v'Reb Chaim ben Daisa. The world wasn't created, the good stuff in the world was only created the La'achav and v'Chanina Tzadik Gomer and a Rosh Gomer. Reb Chaim ben Daisa La'achav ben Imri Olam Hazeh. This world, La'achav ben Imri so the Tzaddik Gomer and the Rosh Gomer both get this world. They both enjoy the pleasures of this world. But a Rosh Gomer, someone who's purely evil, he's the guy that gets the world. He gets all the bad in the world to come. He gets punished in the world to come. But someone who's 100% pure good, never sinned, L'chaira, he doesn't get punished in this world. Says the gemorah. Okay, a whole new cigar over here. Back to Kriya Shema. We're wrapping up the Masechta, going back to how we started, about Kriya Shema. V'ahavta es Hashem elekecha. You have to love Hashem, your God, with all your heart. Says the gemorah. Tanya. Rebbe Lezer Omer. If it says you have to love Hashem with all your nefesh, all your soul, why did that say with all moedecha? With all moedecha. We said moedecha means either with every mid, however he treats you, you're gonna love him, or with all your money. That's the chayr how the Gemara is understanding it now. So if you have to love Hashem, if you have to be moised nefesh, you gotta love Hashem with all your soul. Meaning you gotta give your life from love of Hashem, right? We're gonna see soon the story. You have to give your life, not to do neged Ratzon Hashem in certain cases, right? Not in every case. Three cardinal sins. You've got to give your life. You have to love Hashem and say, this is more important than my life. So obviously then you have to love Hashem with all your money, right? If you've got to give your life up, so of course Chol Meidecha, isn't that Pashat? It's one of the most famous gemorahs. If it says you have to love Hashem with every penny you have, then of course you have to love Hashem with all your soul. It's Pasha. Hello. So why did it say both? The Gemara says, some people, their body has more value than their moment. That's why it says you've got to love Hashem with all your soul. And some people, their money is more important than their neshama, than their life. That's why it says you got to love Hashem with all your moedecha, with all your money. So some people they love their body more, and some people they love their money more. And that's why it says both. Some Mefarshim say that. So first of all, what's going on over here? Who's willing? The Mefarshim was, it's not my question. Who's willing to die to make money? Are you willing to die in order to? Are you willing to take a bullet to make $100? The answer is no, because you're not going to have the $100. You're not going to have not your money and not your life, right? No, isn't that Pasha? No one's going to give their life to make money. So some say that you see that many people are willing to live a life of misery and poverty, right? To become famous. They're willing to play music in their basement or draw. In order to have pride, they're willing to sacrifice everything in order to have pride, in order to become famous. Or some people are willing to work crazy hard, and they're willing to do jobs that are very risky because they want to make more money. In other words, you see the balance. It's not like, okay, life is the most important thing, and I'll do everything. I'll give up any pleasures of this world to live. No, some people are like, listen. If smoking is some people say this, I've heard, so if smoking is dangerous, he doesn't care, he's gonna smoke. Smoking is more important than life. That's it. He's willing to die to smoke, right? People are willing to die, they want to make the extra money, they become a racing car driver, they want to, I don't know if that's dangerous even, but assuming it's dangerous, right? They're willing to do that because for them money is more important than life. Yeah, maybe. So what are they going to do with the money if someone dies? Hopefully they're not going to die. Or maybe they're doing it that their kids should inherit it. Or I don't know what. Give it to charity. But they love money. There is such a principle. Okay. So we're going to wrap up with this crazy story. Rabbi Kiva Omer, b'chol nafshecha, what does it mean b'chol nafshecha? Afilu, even if noitles nafshecha, you have to love Hashem even if He's taking your soul. Meaning, they're about to kill a person, he has to love Hashem even in that moment. It's not a time to be upset, it's not a time to, to be furious, to be angry. The person's about to be shot in the head, killed by whatever it is, terrorists. You should still love Hashem. You shouldn't be like upset with Hashem. Love Hashem. Okay. Tanrabanan. This is the story. The evil Roman Empire, they decreed the Jews not allowed to learn Torah. But Papas ben Yehuda, what's Rabbi Kiva? Papas came. He saw Rabbi Kiva. Shayamakil kiles barabim leisik b'Torah. Rabbi Kiva didn't care. He gathered the congregation and he taught Torah in public. He risked his life to teach Torah. Amalai, he said to him, Akiva, I've got to talk to you, don't go anywhere. You're not scared about the evil Malchus. Amalai, he said to him, let me give you a marshal. What are you saying? This is the most famous marshal. Everyone knows this marshal. This fox is walking on the river. And we're out dogging, show you miskabsim and mocking. He sees fish in pool and what they call them, a school of fish here, running there, they're going here, they're going there. The fox says to the fish, why are you running here? You're going here, you're going there. What are you running from? They're fishing, there's fishing nets here you don't see. These humans are coming to fish. So the fox says to them, I'll tell you what, I've got an idea. You come on the ground with me. You jump out of the water, get in my car, right? You come and you live with me, just like my fathers used to live with your fathers. Interesting, the gemorah is saying such a thing. The fox is saying, listen, we all used to live together, the fox and the fish, right? We all came from the same, whatever it is. We all live together. I don't know what it means. Someone called it evolution. I guess maybe that's what gemorah is alluding to. I don't know. Amalai, he said to him, you're supposed to be the smartest of all animals. You're not smart, you're stupid. If in the place where we live, the water is how we live. If we're scared in the water, imagine how scared we'll be out of the water. The Torah is a life. It's the length of your days. The Torah is what gives us life. If we're scared when we're learning Torah, then when we're not learning Torah, we've got to be 1,000 times more scared. The Torah is what saves us. The Torah is what gives us life. You take a fish out of water, he's dead. There's nothing to be worried about. He's dead. That's it. You stop learning Torah, you're dead straight away. Spiritually, a person's dead immediately. So does that mean you tell me to stop learning Torah and then I'll live? What do you mean? You stop learning Torah, you're dead. That's it. Finished. Okay. A famous story. They found Rabbi Kiva, they locked him up, and they locked up Papas ben Yehuda, and they locked him up. Etzlai, they locked them up together. So Rabbi Kiva said, I thought you're the careful guy. You want to teach you Torah. Why are you here? Right? Amalai, he said to Mashiach Rabbi Akiva, how praiseworthy you are. Sheditzasta al divrei Torah. You were caught for learning Torah. Ayle le papas, woe is the papas, shenitvas al dvar betelim. I was grabbed for stupid dvar betelim, for things of nothing. It doesn't say what he was grabbed for. I think there's a medrash someone that says that the Caesar's daughter was killed and they accused papas. They were going to kill all the Jews. They were going to kill all the Jews of this town. So Papa said, it was me, he took guilt and they locked him up. So, but nothing happened, it wasn't his fault. So B'shashet, yes, Rabbi Kiva Lariga, when he went out to kill Rabbi Kiva, Zman Krishma Haya, it was the time of the day we say Krishma Vayusakim, Shabazel. And they were brushing his hair with brushes of metal to torture him, and he was saying Krishma. Really, you're going to say Kriya Shema with such ava, or whatever it is, even when they're torturing you? I was always worried. I was always nervous. Do you have to love Hashem even if they're about to kill you? I always said to myself, when am I going to be able to be Mekayim this mitzvah? And now that it's come to my table, now that it's part of my lot, that they're torturing me, about to kill me, I'm not going to go ahead and love Hashem. His whole life he's saying Shema Yisrael, even if they're killing you, you're going to love Hashem. Now I'm not going to keep it. He was saying Hashem Echad, that God is one. His soul came out. Yotze Baskal. So a voice came out from heaven. V'omra, Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva, sheyotza nishmoscha b'echad. Praiseworthy you. His soul came out with one. Amar Malach Shas v'Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the angel said to Hashem, Zu Torah zu schara. Is this the reward of Torah? Mimsim yadcha Hashem mimsim, mesim. Amar lahem. Hashem said to the angels, Chalkam b'chaim, to have a place for them all to come. Yotze Baskal v'Omar Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva sh'ata mezuman l'chayil mahaba. He said, praiseworthy you, Rabbi Akiva. You are going straight to the Garden of Eden, straight to Gan Eden. Have a wonderful day.
I